conduct procurement process is all about seeking seller's response against about procurement statement of work, evaluating sellers against source selection criteria or various subjective and objective criteria, and then finally giving a contract or awarding a work to a selected seller. Now let us look at inputs of this particular process. We need to take procurement management plan as an input, because this tells us how should be conducting the conduct procurement process. The second input which is necessary is procurement statement of work. Third input which is required is procurement documents, and these all are coming along with make or buy decision. Now procurement statement of work tells us the amount of work which we have for outsource. Procurement documents, a format for request for proposal, quotation, invitation for bid, etc., etc., whatever we want to use, we come here. Make or buy decision coming from our plant procurement process, like okay, these are the things we are planning to buy rather than making. So they tells us statement of work and approach. Then once we publish this, we get seller response, and that comes as another input. Now we need to evaluate the seller response. In a plant procurement process, we spoke about source selection criteria, so that becomes another input. Now we need to look at project documents and organization process assets. Organization process assets providing us all templates, procedures for conducting procurement. So let us look at the flow of conducting procurement. First we need to advertise. We need to do something by which the procurement statement of work along with the procurement document becomes visible to various sellers. So we may invite request for proposal. We may issue a tender based on our procurement statement of work. So we do an advertisement. Or advertising. Now in the response of advertising, we expect good amount of seller would be responding. So what we do next? We collect seller response. To collect seller responses, which is coming as an input like this. Advertisement is happening through on the basis of project procurement management plan, statement of work, and procurement documents. Once we get an responses, we may need to clarify about the scope to respective sellers. We can do the clarifications using paper documentation or emails or via phone also, but we can also use another tool and technique called bidder conference. Now bidder conference is a type of a conference where we invite all the sellers, and the clarification sought by individual sellers are explained in front of other sellers as well. So this ensures that everybody who is responding to our tender or our request for proposal gets the same perspective of our requirement. So after providing this bidder conference, we may get a modified seller response, and then we again say collect seller response, and then again finally we get proposals or quotes for finishing our work. Now we need to apply some tools and technique by which we can evaluate them. Now evaluation can happen by a way of performing evaluation. So we do a technique called perform evaluation. In general, weighted source selection, weighted criteria like total cost of ownership, technical excellence, a proposal quality, warranty, etc. will be used to identify which proposal is best out of collected one. We may apply another technique called analytical techniques. Now, few things may not be very clear coming from the proposal. So we may need to evaluate vendor as well as a proposal by applying an analytical techniques. Sometimes people get confused between perform evaluation and source selection criteria. So when we are performing evaluation of a proposal, it is more focused on that proposal. The source selection criteria is primarily for the vendor. But while we are evaluating proposal, it is vendor plus this offering. Even if vendor is good, but he is unable to give us a right clarification or right cost for the given work, he may go down in the performance evaluation. For some of the cases, for some of the statement of work, we may go for independent estimate. If we find that different vendors are quoting very different prices, or the area is something which is new to the organization, so organization may take an independent estimate, and that becomes another tool and technique. Now we applied all these tools and technique, and we identified some of the sellers. Now we may want to negotiate with them. We may want to negotiate for the price, we may want to negotiate for the scope, we may want to negotiate for service level agreement. So that becomes the another tool and technique which may be called procurement negotiation. Now, we should always remember, in exam or in our real life, whenever we are negotiating, it is not about harming someone else. It is not about extracting maximum from our vendor. We should focus always on win-win solutions. We should think of giving a proper share of work as well as profit or cost to a vendor. But we should negotiate a best possible deal which can help us in achieving our long-term goals. Because price is not a one-time matter. We need to work with this vendor for a long duration. Now, after applying all this, what we get? We get as an output of this selected seller. Now, while we were doing all this tool and technique, we were also applying expert judgment. So if I count the tools and techniques for conduct procurement, advertising was the one, bidder conference was the second, perform evaluation, analytical techniques, independent estimates, procurement negotiation, and that makes, and the expert judgment. So that brings the total of 7 tools and technique for our conduct procurement. Now, at the end of it, we get the selected seller. Now we need to go for an agreement. We have identified the seller. Now we need to get into contract. So agreement, which is a term which may be a contract, may be a purchase order, may be another name which may you get used in your organization. So second output after selecting a seller is we get into agreement. Now this agreement is a legal document and a binding document or a defining document of a relationship between seller and buyer. So this should have good amount of details. It should be talking about scope of work. It should be talking about performance parameters. It should be talking about acceptance criteria. It should be talking about schedule, dates. It should be talking about money, price. It should be talking about payment terms. When can this selected seller can claim for work? So it will talk about payment term. It will also talk about how can we and what is the process we should follow for changing this contract. So change management, handling disputes, which code would be applicable if we have dispute for a given agreement. So these are the some of the details, but it's a legal document, so it should have role and responsibility. What is falling under vendor's role, what is falling under buyer's role. So roles and responsibility. Frequency of performance report, what type of performance report this seller has to submit. So format, frequency of report, performance review meeting frequencies and responsibility. Meeting frequency, escalation mechanism, so all these kind of details can come in an agreement. Now, once we have an agreement, means we have someone to work for selected procurement statement of work. Now we need to update our resource calendar. So once we get a schedule from them, once we have an agreement with them, we update our resource calendar. We reflect the work agreed and performed by them in our resource calendar. Now, along with these three outputs, other outputs could be a change request, because while doing procurement, conducting procurement, you may identify for this particular statement of work, we cannot procure from outside. It is no more feasible. Nobody is responding to it, or nobody has a visibility or capability of doing it. So we may need to do it ourselves. That results into a change request. So there could be various things which can trigger a change request. We may need to update our project management plan and project documents. So we may end up updating, or things may get triggers to updates project management plan, which could be related to change requests and baselines, and project documents. Project documents like risk and requirement traceability matrix, requirement documents may get update it, because requirement traceability matrix should reflect which component is going to outside vendor. In general, this process takes long time to execute. In our PMBOK or for our PMP exam, it's just a one process. But for your organization, it may be a collection of processes. Negotiation itself may become a process. Inviting bid or inviting seller response may become as a separate process. But for our exam, it's a one process, and which covers invitation of bids, selection of the seller, and finally awarding the contract.